This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. Imagine your hip shattering just from stepping out of bed. That is your future if you keep trusting eggs to build muscle. Your body is literally eating its own legs for fuel right now. Stop the self-cannibalization. These 7 hidden foods are the only thing standing between you and a nursing home. Imagine your hip shattering just from stepping out of bed. That is your future if you keep trusting eggs to build muscle. Your body is literally eating its own legs for fuel right now, and you do not even feel it happening. We call it aging, but biologically, it is a silent starvation. Stop the self-cannibalization. There are 7 hidden foods that can save you from a wheelchair, but you are currently ignoring them. Watch this before it is too late, because once that first fall happens, there is usually no going back. Welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are building a community dedicated to strength and independence. So please, hit that subscribe button right now. Your support gives us the motivation to keep uncovering these vital health truths for you. For decades, we have been brainwashed into believing that a couple of scrambled eggs in the morning is the gold standard for protein. We are told that if we eat our eggs, we will stay strong. But here is the brutal reality that most nutritionists are not telling you. That standard applies to a 30-year-old body, not yours. When you cross the threshold of 60, your physiology changes effectively overnight. Your muscles develop a stubborn, dangerous condition known as anabolic resistance. This is the silent killer of mobility. Think of your muscles like a radio receiver. When you are young, the sensitivity is high. Even a tiny signal, a small amount of protein, is heard loud and clear, triggering growth and repair. But as you age, the receiver breaks. Your muscles become hard of hearing. They become deaf to weak nutritional signals. A single egg provides only 6 grams of protein. To a resistant muscle, 6 grams is absolute silence. It is not enough to wake up the machinery. To actually flip the switch that stops your legs from withering away, you need a protein spike of at least 30 grams in a single sitting. Do the math with me. To get 30 grams of protein from eggs, you would need to eat 5 large eggs in one sitting, every single morning. Can you stomach that? Is that affordable or practical for you? For most people, the answer is no. So you eat your 2 eggs, thinking you are being healthy, but your body receives no signal to build. Consequently, your system enters a catabolic state. It begins to break down the muscle tissue in your thighs and glutes just to keep your vital organs functioning. You are not just failing to build muscle, you are actively losing the very structural integrity that keeps you upright. This is why you see your legs getting thinner every year. It is why getting out of a low chair feels like a massive effort. It is not just old age. It is malnutrition of the muscles caused by a diet that is too weak to work. The egg myth is dangerous because it gives you a false sense of security while your independence slowly evaporates. This is not about looking like a bodybuilder. Definitely. This is about the terrifying moment when your knee buckles on the stairs. It is about the humiliation of needing help to get off the toilet because your quadriceps have atrophied. It is about the loss of dignity that comes with frailty. But you do not have to accept this decline. You do not have to wait for the day you cannot stand up. There are foods that exist specifically to break through this resistance. There are foods that provide double, triple, even quadruple the protein of an egg, along with the specific biological triggers your aging muscles are desperate for. We are about to reveal 7 of them, and they are going to change your life. Before we continue to the first food, I want you to answer this quick question in the comments below. It helps us understand what matters most to you. Which do you fear most about aging? A, the physical pain of a fracture or injury. B, the loss of freedom and becoming a burden to your family. Type A or B in the comments right now. Now that we have exposed the silence of your muscles, the urgent question becomes, how do we force them to listen? How do we scream loud enough for your legs to hear the command to grow? The answer lies in the specific biological triggers found in our first superfood, Greek yogurt. This is not just a breakfast condiment. It is a tactical weapon against frailty. While an egg offers a meager 6 grams of protein, a single cup of authentic Greek yogurt delivers 20 grams. That is more than triple the power. But the quantity is only half the story. The real magic lies in a specific amino acid called leucine. Think of your muscle cells like a high-performance car sitting in the driveway. You can fill the tank with fuel, which is the protein, but if you do not have the key to turn the ignition, that car is going nowhere. Leucine is that ignition key. It is the molecular switch that turns on the machinery of muscle synthesis. As we age, our bodies require significantly more leucine to turn that key. Greek yogurt is packed with it, far more dense in this critical nutrient than eggs. When you eat a bowl of Greek yogurt, you are not just feeding your body, you are forcefully starting the engine of repair. You are flooding your system with a mix of fast-acting whey protein that spikes your levels immediately and slower digesting casein that keeps the engine running. It also contains probiotics that heal your gut, ensuring that you actually absorb these nutrients, because a damaged digestive system cannot build a strong body. However, there is a dangerous window of time that most seniors completely neglect, and this is where you lose the battle for your mobility. It is the 8 hours you spend sleeping. During the night, you are fasting. You are not eating, but your body still needs energy. If there are no amino acids in your bloodstream, your body will panic and start breaking down your own muscle tissue to survive. You are literally cannibalizing your own legs while you dream. This is why you often wake up feeling stiff and weak. This brings us to food number 2, the ultimate nighttime defender, cottage cheese. This humble, often overlooked food is the superior solution to overnight muscle wasting. Cottage cheese is packed with 28 grams of protein per cup, but its true power is its structure. It is composed primarily of casein protein. Unlike the protein in eggs, which digests relatively quickly, casein is unique. When it hits your stomach, it forms a gel-like structure. It does not digest instantly. Instead, it slowly breaks down, drip-feeding amino acids into your bloodstream for up to 7 hours. Imagine having a slow drip IV of muscle medicine running into your legs all night long. That is exactly what cottage cheese does. By eating a small bowl before bed, you turn your sleep from a time of loss into a time of gain. You prevent the morning deficit. You protect the hard work you did during the day. This is the secret of bodybuilders, adapted for the survival of seniors. While eggs leave you empty and catabolic by 2 a.m., cottage cheese stands guard, ensuring that when your feet hit the floor in the morning, your muscles are fueled, repaired, and ready to hold you up. It is the difference between waking up fragile and waking up fortified. We have awakened the muscles and protected them through the night, but now we must address the fundamental structure of your body. To carry your own weight up a flight of stairs, or to stop yourself from stumbling on an uneven sidewalk, you need raw, dense muscle power without the burden of inflammation or excess body fat. This brings us to a powerhouse that is often dismissed as poor man's food, yet it holds the secret to stability that eggs simply cannot provide: canned tuna. We need to have a serious conversation about balance. A fall does not always happen because you are weak. It happens because you sway. You lose your center of gravity. This is where canned tuna becomes a lifesaver. Beyond its massive 30-gram protein payload, which instantly hits that synthesis threshold we discussed, tuna is rich in vitamin D. In the geriatric world, vitamin D is not just for bones. It is the stabilizer for your neuromuscular system. Low levels of vitamin D are directly linked to an increase in swaying and a higher risk of falls. By eating this affordable, shelf-stable food, you are essentially waterproofing your nervous system against the wobbles that lead to fractures. It is the most economical way to buy stability on a fixed income. You do not need expensive supplements. You need a pantry stocked with this accessible superfood. However, stability means nothing if you cannot handle your own body weight. Every extra pound of fat on your frame acts as a sandbag strapped to your knees, grinding down the cartilage and making movement agonizing. You need to build the engine while stripping away the cargo. This is why chicken breast is scientifically superior to eggs for the aging body. While eggs come with a dose of fat, Chicken breast is pure, isolated protein efficiency. A single palm-sized serving delivers 35 grams of high-quality muscle fuel with minimal calories. Think of your quadriceps and glutes as the brakes of your car. When you walk down a hill or lower yourself onto a chair, these muscles are fighting gravity to keep you from collapsing. If they are weak or hidden under layers of fat, gravity wins, and you fall. Chicken breast gives you the highest return on investment, maximum muscle-building amino acids with zero wasted energy. It allows you to shed the dangerous visceral fat that inflames your joints while simultaneously constructing the dense, fibrous muscle tissue required to act as your body's braking system. It is versatile, it is potent, and it is the building block of a body that can move with command rather than caution. By prioritizing these dense protein sources, you are stripping away the frailty and revealing the strength that is still hiding within you, waiting to be fed. You might be diligently eating your protein, chewing through chicken and tuna, believing you are doing everything right. But what if I told you that without the correct chemical catalysts, all that protein is useless? It is like delivering a pile of bricks to a construction site, but forgetting to hire the bricklayers. The bricks just sit there, and no wall is ever built. This is the tragic mistake most seniors make, and it is where eggs fail you completely. They lack the essential minerals required to turn food into muscle tissue. This brings us to the unsung hero of the plant world, pumpkin seeds. Your legs are screaming for two specific things, magnesium and zinc. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, your calf muscle seized in a knot of agonizing pain? That is a cramp, and it is your body crying out for magnesium. Eggs have almost none. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with it. But even more critical is zinc. Zinc is the foreman of your body's construction site. It is responsible for DNA synthesis and tissue repair. Without adequate zinc, your body physically cannot utilize the protein you eat to rebuild muscle fibers. You are eating in vain. By adding a handful of pumpkin seeds to your diet, you provide the essential labor force that turns your protein intake into actual functional leg strength. But there is another enemy we must fight: fatigue. How often do you decline an invitation to walk in the park because your legs just feel heavy? It is not laziness, it is a lack of oxygen. Food number 6, lentils, is the antidote to this exhaustion. Lentils are not just a source of plant protein, they are a vessel for iron. Iron creates hemoglobin, the vehicles in your blood that transport oxygen from your lungs to your thighs. When you are iron deficient, your muscles suffocate. They burn and tire within minutes. Lentils reoxygenate your system, giving you the stamina to walk farther and stand longer. Furthermore, they are packed with fiber, which stabilizes your blood sugar. When blood sugar spikes and crashes, your body releases cortisol, a stress hormone that actively eats away muscle tissue. Lentils keep your levels steady, creating a safe environment where muscle can grow rather than perish. They are the endurance fuel that keeps you moving when others have to sit down. Finally, we arrive at the foundation of your entire physical existence. We can build all the muscle in the world, we can fuel it with oxygen and stabilize it with minerals. But if the anchor point is brittle, the entire structure will collapse. Muscle pulls on bone to create movement. If that bone is weak, the force of your own strong muscles can cause a fracture. This is the terrifying reality of osteoporosis, and our final superfood, edamame, is your biological insurance policy against it. Edamame is not just a trendy appetizer. It is a powerhouse of complete plant protein that contains a unique compound called isoflavones. For seniors, and particularly for postmenopausal women, isoflavones are miraculous. They mimic the effects of estrogen in the body, which is crucial because the drop in hormones is a primary driver of bone density loss. By consuming edamame, you are essentially telling your bones to hold on to their calcium, to stay dense and resilient. You are reinforcing the chassis of your vehicle so it can handle the power of the engine. Imagine slipping on a wet floor. In that split second, your body undergoes a massive shock. If your bones are porous and brittle like dry chalk, they shatter. A shattered hip often marks the end of life as you know it. It is the doorway to infection, pneumonia, and permanent immobility. But if your bones are dense and tough, you might just bruise. You get up, you dust yourself off, you continue your day. That is the difference edamame can make. It transforms a potential tragedy into a minor inconvenience. By integrating this complete protein into your diet, you are not just feeding your muscles, you are fortifying the skeleton that allows you to stand tall in this world. You are building a body that is harder to break, ensuring that a simple stumble does not become a life sentence. So, here's the stark reality you face today. You can continue to eat your toast and single egg, hoping that luck will keep you on your feet, or you can look at the science and choose to take control. We have walked through the biology of your aging body, and the evidence is undeniable. Your legs are not just getting old, they are being underfed. Every time you struggle to get out of a chair, every time you feel that wobble in your step, it is your body begging for the right fuel. The 7 foods we discussed, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tuna, chicken breast, pumpkin seeds, lentils, and edamame, are not just groceries. They are the structural support beams of your future. They are the difference between a retirement spent exploring the world and a retirement confined to a single room. The profound lesson here is that what got you to age 60 will not get you through age 60. For decades, you likely ate whatever you wanted or followed simple rules like an egg a day, and your body adapted. But now the rules have changed. The deep lesson is that aging requires aggressive adaptation. You cannot passively maintain your health anymore. You must actively fight for it. Muscle is the organ of longevity. It is the armor that protects your bones and the engine that drives your metabolism. Treating protein as an afterthought is no longer an option. It must be the priority of every single meal. The loss of independence is not an inevitable part of aging. It is often a side effect of malnutrition. You have the power to reverse this. You have the knowledge to force your muscles to listen, to grow, and to support you for decades to come. Applying this to your life does not mean you have to become a chef or spend hours in the kitchen. It starts with a simple swap. Tomorrow morning, instead of that second piece of toast, open a cup of Greek yogurt. For lunch, instead of a plain salad, open a can of tuna. When you watch TV at night, put down the chips and pick up a handful of pumpkin seeds. These micro decisions compound over time. Week by week, you will feel the stability return to your knees. You will feel the heaviness lift from your legs. You will realize that you are not just surviving your 60s, you are conquering them. Now, I have a very simple question for you, and I would love to read your answer in the comments below. It helps us see where everyone is starting from. Which of the 7 foods from today's list are you going to add to your grocery cart this week? Please type the name of the food in the comments. Whether it is lentils or cottage cheese, let us know your first step. If this video gave you a new perspective on your health, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are working hard to build the most helpful community for senior health, and your subscription gives us the motivation to keep researching and creating these videos for you. Welcome to the EldraFit family, and let's get strong together.